My name is Samir. I'm founder and CEO of SWYTCHD. We're an all-inclusive electric vehicle subscription, kind of like Netflix, but for electric vehicles. Our vertical is automobile and mobility. Okay, so I'll take you through a quick story about SWYTCHD and our journey so far. So what we want to do is make access to electric vehicles very, very easy and very, very simple. So what we do is essentially that we remove the barriers to EV adoption. One, by reducing the total upfront cost that it's required to own an EV. They're not particularly cheap. And second, remove the range anxiety. So range anxiety is essentially, is it going to do the kilometers it says it does? And all the OEMs lie to you. And then charge anxiety, which is where and how do I charge? So we try and remove that altogether. For who? So in reality, we want to do this for anyone and everyone, but our target market is really millennials moving on to Gen Z. People between the age group of 25 to 45, the generation rent, they earn an average income of more than 50,000 rupees a month, and they primarily live in urban metropolitan cities where EVs will be the first to actually get adopted. And how do we do this? Very simply through an all-inclusive monthly subscription with everything included. So that's the vehicle itself, insurance, servicing, breakdown support, and free charging. So the cost of electricity that my customers incur, whether they charge at home or outside, we refund to them. We do electric cars and electric bikes, and we've got tie-ups with Tata, Ola, Ather, Revolt, and Hero. We do home delivery, home pickup, really make it hassle-free. We actually don't take a deposit, and we include 1,200 kilometers as the mileage allowance per month. Okay, so where do we fit in the market of vehicle usership or ownership? So on the left here, we have a vehicle commitment landscape. On the x-axis, we have time, and on the y-axis, we have financial commitment. So if you look at the top right here, which is vehicle loans, so that's the traditional way that most people buy or purchase a vehicle in India, right? So financial commitment is very, very high. You have to pay a deposit, pay EMIs over a very long-term period, which is usually 3 years plus. And at the bottom end of this spectrum, you see vehicle rental. And this is where Vogo, Zoom, Car, Bounce operate, where it's an hourly or daily rental, very low financial commitment and very low time commitment. Then we see vehicle leasing. Now, this is primarily the way that people get vehicles in the United States, in Europe, and so on. You know, more than 60% of vehicles are sold on a lease model. Financial commitment is still high, but the time commitment is sort of 12 months, 24 months, 36 months, that kind of time frame. SWYTCHD sits in the middle of vehicle rental and lease model. We found a niche with monthly subscriptions. So again, reiterating again, what we are is a monthly subscription, 1 month commitment only for personal usage. You can't use it if you're a Swiggy, Zomato, or Amazon delivery guy. It's a personal usage only. And what we are not is an hourly or daily rental model, long-term lease model, or long-term ownership model. Currently, my customers don't have the opportunity to own this vehicle. And there's a reason why we're doing this, right? Electric vehicle adoption is a problem, and it's a big problem. 35% of Indians would consider switching to an electric vehicle, right? But there's some things that are stopping them. This is a study done by Carvalho. First thing that's stopping them is that they're expensive. They're between 30 to 50% more expensive than petrol or diesel vehicles or combustion engine vehicles. Range anxiety, will it do the range that it says it's going to do? And in most cases, they will not, because the OEMs overinflate that range. OEMs are car designers. And then charge anxiety, where do I charge? Can I charge at home? Can I charge outside? So the reluctance to go into using an EV. This is a big opportunity, but the fundamental problem of large upfront costs and long time commitments and EV anxiety. And this is the problem we're addressing. Now, there's a company that's actually resolved this problem outside of India fairly well. Story of Onto. Onto is an electric vehicle subscription. They're about 3 years old. They have 8,000 active subscribers and 160 employees. Now, the same problems we see with EV adoption in India also exist in the UK. But remember, UK market is a very lease-heavy market. Most people get their leases for 12, 24, 36 months. People are unwilling to commit to long-term leases, even 12-month leases for EVs. Onto fundamentally disrupted this and the ownership model. They were getting 1,000 registrations per month. They removed the barrier for EV adoption. They're doubling every 3 to 6 months. And they're really good renewal rates of 80%. Actually, SWYTCHD is slightly better. We have 95% renewal rate. I personally tried Onto for 6 months before starting SWYTCHD. and really understood their operations. Their chief executive was a colleague of mine at Jaguar Land Rover many years ago. And in 2 years' time, they've raised 250 million. So Switched has adapted to India cars and bikes with a lot more availability of other aspects. So we saw the slide earlier. We said 35% of Indians would consider switching to an EV. There's an opportunity. So what's the size of that immediate addressable market? 6.4 million people in India earn over 50,000 rupees per month, right? 6.4 million of them earn over 50,000. 60% of them live in urban metropolitan cities, and 35% of them would consider switching to an electric vehicle. That's an immediate near-term addressable market of 1.3 million people. So the market's not actually small near-term. It's only going to grow. 2030 is the end of all combustion sales in India, which roughly makes us 15 million two-wheelers and 3.5 million four-wheelers as the addressable market, so 18 million.